Good morning, sir. My name is Cadet Jonathan Blake, and this morning I'll be briefing on comparing and contrasting American and Chinese rifle squads. This is an information briefing that is unclassified. So the purpose of this briefing is to inform you and other commanders of the organization of the Chinese military at the basic squad level in order to understand how they fight, since they are now a near-peer threat to the United States in the modern era. So for the agenda, what we're going to go over is the composition, strength, offensive and defensive disposition, capabilities by warfighting functions, and then references and questions at the very end. So for the composition, the American Rifle Squad key weapon systems consist of the M4, the M249, the M320, and when it is a motorized rifle squad, the ICV Striker. However, for the purposes of this brief, we are assuming it is just a regular American Rifle Squad, so the Striker would not be a part of it. For the Chinese Rifle Squad, its main weapon systems also consist of an assault rifle, the QPC-95, the light machine guns, QJY-88, the grenade launcher, POG-10, and they also have a light tactical vehicle, CSK-141. For the purposes of this brief, we are assuming this is a Chinese motorized rifle squad because that's the typical rifle squad you will see in the Chinese military today. So that will consist of the CSK-141. So the Chinese rifle squad, of course, has the advantage when it comes to composition because they have a lot more weapon variety, such as the sniper rifle, QPU-88, and the DZJ-08, which is a rocket launcher. So they have more anti-tank capabilities than the United States. For strength, the American Rifle Squad consists of the squad leader and two teams consisting of a team leader, an automatic rifleman, a grenadier, and a rifleman. The Chinese Rifle Squad consists of a squad leader, assistant squad leader, a machine gun team, and an anti-tank team. So the key differences between the strength for both squads is that the American Rifle Squad only has one squad leader. However, they have two team leaders, while the Chinese Rifle Squad do not have any team leaders when in the machine gun team and the anti-tank team. However, they do have an assistant squad leader to help out the squad leader. We have very similar number of weapons per squad, such as the assault rifle and light machine gun is very similar to the Chinese Rifle Squad at about 6 or 7, and about one light machine gun. It's 6 or 7 assault rifles, depending if there will be a rifleman or a sniper in the machine gun team. And the Chinese Rifle Squad, of course, has the advantage when it comes to strength because they have all these different weapon capabilities. However, they have a disadvantage compared to the United States because the American Rifle Squad has more command autonomy when it comes to having a squad leader and the rifle teams. So the rifle teams can operate at their own pace if something were to happen to the squad leader. For the offensive disposition, the Chinese Rifle Squad already has more principles of offense than the American Rifle Squad, so they have the advantage when it comes to that. The Chinese Rifle Squad focuses more on aggressive tactics and overcoming the enemy, while the American Rifle Squad is more focused on tempo maneuvers when it comes to offense. But that gives them the ability over the Chinese Rifle Squad by performing more offensive missions in one timeline by having that tempo to keep on fighting. For defensive disposition, the American Rifle Squad has the advantage because they have more principles of defense. The difference between the American Rifle Squad and Chinese Rifle Squad is that the American Rifle Squad focuses more on preparation and security when it comes to defensive positions. While the Chinese Rifle Squad focuses more on counterattacking and continuing to fight the enemy within the defensive position instead of just focusing mainly on security and defense. So for the capabilities, the American Rifle Squad and Chinese Rifle Squad is very similar. However, the Chinese Rifle Squad has the advantage with the sniper section having more variety when it comes to intelligence. Movement and maneuver is the same thing. However, the Chinese Rifle Squad will more often than not have that CSK vehicle when compared to the Stryker unit to the American Rifle Squad, since the CSK is a part of most Chinese Rifle Squads. For fires, we have very similar machine gun capabilities. The Chinese Rifle Squad has the advantage when it comes to fires because they have anti-tank capabilities in the sniper section. However, we do have the advantage when it comes to mortar capabilities by having the 120 millimeter as compared to the 60 millimeter. So for protection, sustainment, and control, our protection is very similar to the Chinese Rifle Squad because we both have body armor. We have the Stryker or the CSK for protection. However, more often than not, they will have the CSK, while we will most likely not have a Stryker within our unit. For sustainment, we have the Forward Support Company, and the Chinese Rifle Squad has the Service Support Battalion, so we have very similar ranges when it comes to sustainment. For command and control, we both have squad leaders, we both have radios, and we have unmanned aerial vehicles in order to help gain intelligence and communicate to the squad leader. However, we have the advantage of command and control because, like I said before, we have more command autonomy with the team leaders. And then, as compared to the Chinese Rifle Squad, well, two teams could not function without the squad leader and the assistant squad leader. These are my references. And finally, to kind of recap what we went over the composition, the strength, the disposition for offensive and defensive maneuvers, and then the capabilities by the warfighting functions. So again, the whole purpose of this brief is to focus on the new threat that China is becoming and focusing how their capabilities are very similar to American capabilities in the modern era. So this concludes my brief, pending any questions.